This is the Roulette Master, and one of my subscribers, Todd Hoover, says the steady anchor roulette system that he just created is unbelievable and will recover like nothing you've seen before, and I cannot wait to share it with you. And today we're going to put his incredible new system into head-to-head matchup with the system that I've been using in the casino lately. This is the high-low, no boss, and we're going to start with that first. So let's go ahead and we're going to start with a $5 bet on the last dozen to hit and the longest since it's hit. And this is going to be the low part of the high-low, no-boss strategy. And I've been doing fantastic with this. And hopefully you can learn this one and start making money with it as well. We have 2 in a row of a third 12. The high portion of this is when we get 3 in a row of a dozen. So we're going to go ahead, and since we won that, we're going to be betting on third 12 and first 12 for 5 each. And if we get 3 in a row, third 12, we're going to up our bets here. We did not. So we'll keep going with the low part of the high-low, no-boss strategy. And we'll keep getting wins. So we'll be on first 12 and second 12 now. We're up $10. We won $5 on each of the first 2 spins. And here we go. That's a 0 there, so that's definitely a loss. Okay, and if you hit a 0, the bets stay in the same location, but they go up from 5 to 15. And spin. And we're looking for 3 in a row trigger while we're doing this for the second part of this system. That's a 26 black. That is a loss. So now we're going to go from 15 to 45, and we'll be on third 12. And we'll be on second 12. And that's the last to hit and the longest since it's hit. Let's go ahead and spin. Okay, that's a 24 black. And we got it. And every time you recover, you go ahead and reset. So we're up $15. We'll be on second 12 and first 12 this time. And we're still looking for our trigger of 3 in a row of 1 dozen. And that's a 12 red. That's a nice win. We'll be on first 12 and third 12 now. Another thing that I do with this system is before I get started, I look in the history and I try to find 5 in a row of a dozen, which would be a losing scenario before I get started. So that's something you might want to do as well. So we'll be on first and third. Now we have 2 in a row, first 12. And if we get 3 in a row here, we will. We'll go to the second phase of this, but we did not get 3 in a row, but we did win. So we're up 30, and we'll be on third 12 and second 12. Let's go ahead and spin. And here we go. And I think a few different people, I asked you guys what you wanted to name this one. From a few different people, that they said high, low, no boss. So we'll go with that for now. Let me know if you have a better name for it. And we're going to go from 5 to 15. So let's go ahead and do that. We'll be on first 12 for 15. And then we'll be on second 12 for 15. And let's go ahead now. And let's see. Let's go ahead and spend 15 each, 30 total. Okay, that's a 17 black. So we got it, and we're up $35. So we go back to 5. We'll be on second and third for 5 each. And there's a reason we start with such small bets, because this system is just to keep us playing until we are able to do phase 2. And this way you can do it with a live dealer. And it doesn't have to be on automated. And we'll be on first 12 for 15 now and third 12 for 15. Let's go ahead and spin. With the original no boss strategy, where we had to wait for 3 in a row of a dozen, it worked really good with automated, but with a live dealer, it's hard to sit out that much. So we're up $40, and we'll be on third 12 and second 12. This is just a way for you to make profit until you get to phase 2. And that's a 14 red. That's another win. We haven't had our trigger yet, but that's okay. We're making money. We'll be on first and second 12 for 5 each and spin. And this is what I've been using in the casino this week. And that's a 17 black. Okay, there's 2 in a row now. We'll be on second 12. And let's see. And also we'll be on first 12. And the other real benefit to doing this is a lot of times if you do get into a bad stretch with this phase 1, if you're able to go into phase 2, you can stop phase 1. And we'll talk about that more as we go through. So we'll be on first 12 now and third 12. And right now we're just continually making consistent profit until we get our first trigger. And that's a 28 black. $5 win, we're up $60. The key to phase one in this system is to start with really small bets and have a good sized bankroll. So we're going to have a $1,000 bankroll with this one, and that's a 33 black. Okay, and we have 2 in a row now, so we might have a trigger here soon. We'll be on second and third for 5 each, 10 total, and let's spin. That's a 21 red. Okay, we did not get our first trigger, but that's okay. We're already up $70. At least we're making some money. And in the meantime, and we'll be on first and second 12. And this way you can play with the live dealer, and you can stay in your chair. You're not going to have to walk in and out because you're not betting. So keep that in mind. And we'll be on first and third now for 5 each, and let's spin. All right, here we go. That's a 27 red. Okay, another win. Don't have our trigger yet. We're up $80 though, so that's the good thing. We're able to continually play and consistently make profit until we get our big wins, and that's a 19 red. Okay, that's a win, so we'll be on second 12 and first 12. We're currently up $85 with just $5 wins, so that's a great way to start. And let's see when we get our trigger for phase 2. Okay, we lost, so we'll be on third 12 for 15 and first 12 for 15. Let's go ahead and spin, and here we go. All right, that's a 16 red. I don't know why I said all right, because we lost that one, but that's okay. We're going to go from 15 to 45, and we'll be on second 12 and first 12 for 45 each. And the great thing about phase 1 is once you get a single win, you can start over. You don't need multiple wins. And that's a 30 red, but we lost again. So we're going to have to increase again, and we're going to go from 45 to 135. So we take the 45 times 3. So 40 times 3 is 120 plus 15, 135. And we'll be on third 12. And then also first 12. And I think we'll get the win here. Let's find out. Okay, 270 total bet, 135 on each, and let's spin. Okay, that's a 7 red. And the nice thing about this system is in phase 1 is if you get one win, you're already recovered. You can see we're back up $90. So we'll be on first and second. And also that should show you why we start with just $5. If you start with bets that are really high with this, it's not a good way to play unless you have a massive bankroll. So we're going to go from 5 to 15, and we'll be on third 12 and second 12. And then once we get our first trigger, we'll move into phase 2. And here we go. That's a 28 black. Okay, we might have a trigger coming up here. We'll be on third 12 and second 12. If we get a high number here, we'll have our first trigger for phase 2. And we didn't get it. That's an 8 black. So this is just another reason to keep playing this way so that you can make money while you're waiting for the trigger. And we'll be on first and second for 15 each, 30 total. Only need one win to reset. And that's a 6 black. That's a win. Okay, so we're up $100 now, and we'll be on first and second, and we might have a trigger if we get a low number here. Let's find out. No, we didn't. That's a 32 red. Okay, so we'll go to 15. We'll be on third 12 and second 12 for 15, and let's spin. And here we go. That's an 18 red. Another good win, and I'm glad we're doing it this way today. Otherwise, we would have been sitting out for a long time without doing any playing. But this is a great way to do both at the same time, and that's a 2 black. All right, so we're up $110 with just $5 wins. And then we have the ability to make a lot more money once we get to phase 2. Okay, that's a 25 red. Another good win. We'll be on third 12 and second 12 now. We're currently up $115, and let's spin. Here we go. That's a 4 black. And we lost that one. So we'll be on first 12 for 15 and second 12 for 15. And again, only takes 1 win to recover. That's why we start low with the bets, so we have plenty of chances. And that's another loss, though. We're going to go 15 to 45. And it will also be on second 12 for 45. And let's spin. There we go. That's a 1 red. And we lost again. So we're going to have to go from 45 to 135. And we'll be on first 12. And then also second 12. And let's go ahead and spin again here. Let's see if we can stay away from high numbers. Oh, we lost again. Okay, so this is the first time we've gone this far. And now we're going to have to go from 45 to 135. And we'll be on third 12. And then also second 12. Okay, let's go ahead and spin. Here we go. That's a 13 black. Okay, we got the win. And we're only up $30. I think I made a mistake there somewhere. Let me know down in the comments what I did wrong there. I think I missed one of the bets. We'll be on second 12 and first 12 for 5 each. Sometimes when I'm talking too much, I make a mistake. Sorry about that, guys. But we should be up over $100 right now. But we're waiting for our phase 2 trigger. And we'll be on third 12 for 15 and first 12 for 15. And let's spin. And that's a 0. All right, that's a loss. So we'll keep the bets in the same locations and go from 15 to 45. And let's spin. Okay, that's a 6 black. Okay, that's a win, and we'll have to climb back up there again in profits after that mistake. We're up $35, but most of the money on this is going to be made in phase 2 when we get our trigger, so we don't have to worry about that. We'll be on first and second, and let's spin. I think what I did was I didn't increase from 45 to 135. I think I did 45 twice accidentally, and that is a win. We might have our trigger here soon. That'll make up for it. We have 2 in a row, first 12. Oh, I'm sorry, we don't have 2 in a row. That's so we have 1 first, 1 second. So let's just keep going with phase 1 right now. We'll be on second and third, and let's spin. If you make a mistake, though, don't dwell on it. Just get back on board and keep going. Don't try to make it all back up in one spin. And we're at $45, and we'll be on, let's see, second and third. And again, we're doing the last to hit and the longest since it has hit. And here we go. That's a 19 red. Okay, we're up $50, and we'll be on second 12 and looks like third 12. And let's spin. I can't believe we do not have a trigger yet. Let's see what we get here. That's a 5 red. Oh, actually, we just had a trigger, and I missed it, guys. We had the 14, 13, and 19, so we would have won $100 there with the phase two part of this. Man, I'm making all kinds of mistakes today, but we'll make up for it, and we're going to go from 5 to 15. And so the reason we would have won that's because we would have bet on the other 2 dozens after the 3 second 12 hits, and we would have placed $100 each on first 12 and third 12, and we would have won that. So instead, we lost, and we'll be on first and third for 15 each, and let's spin. So definitely have to pay attention while you're doing phase 1, and don't do what I just did there, and learn from my mistakes. Okay, that's a win. We're at $55, and now we have 2 in a row first 12, so we might get an opportunity here again, and we'll be on first 12 and third 12, and let's go ahead and spin. Here we go. Okay, that's a 25 red. Okay, that's a good win. We'll be on third and second, and we're up 60. But again, all it's going to take is a couple wins in phase 2. We just have to be patient, and we'll get there. That's a 20 black. Okay, it's a $5 win. We'll be on second 12 and first 12. And let's spin. Okay, that's a 22 black. That's a $5 win. We're up 70. And we might get our trigger here. We'll see. We'll be on second 12 and first 12. And spin again here. That's a 17 black. Okay, there's our next trigger. So we finally got an opportunity. Now we're in phase 2. We're going to put $100 on the other 2. And the first time we would have done this, we would have won. We don't always win in this on the first bet here. In fact, we just lost that one, and that's okay because we have 2 bullets with this. Now we're going to put 250 on first and third, and this does happen some of the time. Usually I win on the first spin with this, but it almost always win on the second one here because it takes 5 in a row. But we did get 5 in a row, so that did not go well. And now we're at minus 625 out of a $1,000 bankroll. So now we would have to work our way back up. But actually, we have if I'm playing and this happens, I just put another 250 bet on each. And actually, we have about enough to do that. So I'll show you what I would do in the casino, and I would put 250 out there again because now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in a row. And this is a $500 total bet. Let's spin. Okay, and then we would have won that one. Okay, and we're at minus 375. So then now we'd go back to phase 1, but now we're down because generally I don't lose on with 5 in a row like that, but it can happen. So I'm glad that you can see the possibilities. The other thing I really like about this system is when I finally do bust, I'm usually up a decent amount already. And since the bust on this is 750, not on the no boss portion of this, like right now we're only down 375, where most systems, if you bust, you're losing $2,000. So that's another thing I really like about this. But I haven't been losing like this in the casino with it. But that's also why I like to wait for a scenario where there's 5 in a row of a dozen before I start. 5 in a row, that would signify a losing session. But let me know what you think down in the comments, and let me know if you've been using the no boss strategy. Also, what you think about this high-low no boss system, and that would be fantastic. But usually when I'm up a couple $100, and we would have been up that if I hadn't made the mistakes I made. So sorry about that, guys. But if I was in the casino, I would have already been up a couple hundred and walked out. But if you do make a mistake, don't blame yourself too much. Sometimes I do it because I'm talking and playing at the same time. But just get back on board and don't let it wear you down. Just get back in there and start swinging again. So now it is time, though, for the new system of the day from Todd Hoover. And I can't wait to share this with you. So let's just jump right in and get started. And would love your feedback about the high-low no boss strategy. All right, here we go. All right, the time is finally here for the Steady Anchor Roulette System by Todd Hoover. Let's place the bets and get started. And we're going to start with a $40 bet on black, and then a $12 bet on second column. And then we're also going to have some dollar bets out there, 4 of them in the first and second column that are black. So let's pick 4 of those. This is a $56 total bet, and let's spin. All right, here we go. And that's a 27 red to start. Okay, that's a partial loss. We're not going to increase the bet on those partial losses. So let's just rebet and spin. All those red numbers in the third column would signify that, and that's a 4 black. Okay, that's a $24 win. You can see we're up $4 right now. Let's just rebet and spin. All right, here we go. That's a 15 black. That's a $60 win there. All right, we're up 64 bucks. So anytime you're in session profit, you're going to restart with this one, but we're still at base level. So here we go, and that is a 20 black. Another $24 win. We're up 88, and let's just go ahead and rebet and spin. Again, all the red numbers, the 8 of them in the third column, are included, plus all the all the black numbers, and that's another $24 win. We're up 112 bucks. So that's an awesome start. Let's see what we get here. And a good thing is if you hit a red number, there's a good chance it's in the third column, and you won't have to increase the bets. That's a nice $60 win. Now we're up $172. So that's awesome when you hit the black plus the single number bets. And that's a 30 red. And again, that's a $20 loss on third column, but we don't increase on those red numbers in the third column. We're up 152. So let's go ahead and spin again. And here we go. Okay, that's a 4 black. That's a nice $24 win. We're up 176. And still at our base level here. Let's see what we get on this one. We're going to get a lot of wins because we have all those red numbers in the third column up there. Plus, just really good coverage. And we're up 120. That was a full loss. So we're going to increase by what we started with. So the 12 goes to 24. The 1s go to 2. And the 40 goes to 80. Now we're at 112 total bet. And let's bet. That's a 23 red. That's another total loss. So we have to go up by what we started with. So we'll add 2 to the third column and then $1 to all these single bets. And then we're going to add the rest of the third column bet because it's 12, 10 plus 2, and then a $40 increase on black. And let's go ahead and spin. Here we go. That's a 33 black. That's a nice $180 win. And that's what I was talking about earlier. If you hit the third column plus black, that is fantastic. So let's go ahead. And now we're up $188. And we'll put our 40 back on black. And then we'll put a 10 up on third column. Add the 2 to that. And then we'll pick 4 numbers that are in the first and second column that are black. And let's spin. All right, this is the Steady Anchor Roulette System by Todd Hoover, and that's a 22 black. Yeah, it's a $24 win. We're up 212. And we'd love to hit another black number in the third column as well. That would be fantastic. And that's a 12 red. And that's a $20 loss. We do not increase on those ones. We're up 192, and let's spin. Okay, that's a 10 black. That's a nice $60 win. We hit the bet, the one we bet, put $1 on. We're up $252 now. So let's keep it rolling. Here we go. And that's a 13 black. It's a $24 win. We're up 276. And here we go. And again, the cool thing about this is if you hit red, it's probably in the third column. And you're not going to have to increase at that point. That's a 4 black. $24 win. We're up 300. And let's go ahead and spin. Okay, here we go. That's a 13 black. $24 win. We're up 324. And now we're cruising, making lots of money with this new system by Todd Hoover. Let's see if this continues. And that's an 18 red. Again, we don't increase on those ones in the third column. We're up $304. And we can take those $20 losses, no big deal. Because when we hit black numbers, we're going to make a good amount of money. That's a $60 win. So we're up $364 now. And we're still at base level, which is nice. You don't want the bets to get too high if you don't have to. And that's a 23 red. That's a full loss, so we're going to go ahead and increase by what we started with. The 12 goes to 24, the 40 goes to 80, and the 1s go to 2. Excuse me. That's a 31 black. Nice $120 win there. How about that? Now we're up $428. So we're going to go back to where we started, and let's place the bets again. All right. Okay, $12 on third column and $40 on black. We're up $428, and let's keep it rolling. Doing fantastic so far. That's a 1 red. That's a total loss, so we're going to increase by what we started with. We're not doubling, even though you used the double button on the first one. We're always going up by just what we started with, and that's a 9 red. Okay, that's a $40 loss, and we just take that loss. We just rebet and spin, and that's because that's a partial loss. And here we go. That's a 16 red. Full loss. So now we have to go up 40 on black, and then we go up 12 on third column. And we're going to add $1 to the other bets that were $1, and we're at 168 total bet now. Excuse me. That's a 15 black. That's a nice $180 win there. Now we're back up $400, and it's time to reset back to base level. Even if you're not completely in session profit, if you're close, you want to reset with this one. So we'll go 40, and then we have 12 on third column, and then let's put $1 on 4 numbers. Let's see. In the first and second column, and let's spin. Excuse me. That's a 00. Another total loss. So we're going to go ahead and increase. But again, the reason you don't have a lot of total losses is because you have all the black numbers. And if you hit a red number, there's a good chance it's in the third column. There's a nice $48 win. We're up $392. And that's close enough to session profit. So we're going to go ahead and put the bets back out again. Okay. And we have the ability to do that with this system because when we do hit third column and black, it's going to pay huge. So let's go ahead and pick 4 numbers and spin. All right, we're back to base level, and here we go. That's a 13 black. That's a $24 win. We're at 416. And that's why when you're close to session profit, you don't want to push it because you're probably going to get it right back to where you were before anyway. There's no reason to make the bets really big. And there's a total loss. We'll increase. So everything you increased by what it started with, and let's spin. That's a 29 black. $48 win. So now we're up 408, and we can reset. So here we go. 40 on black, 12 on third column, and then $1 on 4 numbers. And let's spin. We'll cover the 17 and the 20, and maybe I think I might be feeling those ones. That's a 26 black. $24 win. We're up 432. And we're still at base level, so let's just rebet and spin. Okay, that's a 26 black, and I think I've seen that number somewhere before. Oh, yeah, it's 2 in a row. And we're at 456. Let's rebet and spin. We can hit as many 26s in a row as they want. That's a 22 black. $24 win. We're at 480. And now we're starting to get a lot of black numbers, which is really good for this system. That's a 33 black. A $60 win because we hit third column too. And now we're at $540. Remember too, the reason that you're somewhat okay if you hit red numbers is because usually they're in the third column. And not always, but you have a good chance of it. And we're at 564. Let's rebet and spin, and we'll see if we do get red numbers, how that'll affect us, and how many it'll take, to cause a problem. But that is a loss there, so we will increase by what we started with and spin. And here we go. Okay, that's a 14 red, total loss. So we're going to go ahead and increase again. So we'll add the ones in first. And then we'll add the 10 to the 2 that we just put on third column. And then 40 to black, 168 total bet. And let's see if we can get a win here. That's an 8 black. Well, that's a good one. $180 win. Now we're at 576. Let's go ahead and reset back to where we started. This is one you definitely want to reset when you have the chance. And let's put our singles out there now. All right, let's go ahead and spin. Here we go. That's a 15 black. $60 win. We'll take that for sure. We're up 636. And we'll rebet and spin. Here we go. That's an 18 red. And again, you don't have to increase if you hit third column. We just rebet and spin. And there's a good chance that if you hit red, it will be in the third column. There's 8 red numbers there, and that's a 00. Okay, we lost, so let's go ahead and increase by what we started with. Remember, we're not doubling. We're just going up by the same amount each time. And that's a 29 black. That's a nice $48 win. We're up 608. Let's reset. And again, reset anytime you have a chance to. Because even if you're close to session profit, it won't take long at all to get back there with this one. And let's see here. Okay, you can pick any 4 black numbers in the first and second column, and here we go. That's a 29 black. $24 win, up 632. Okay, let's rebet and spin. Another 0. That's not good, but that's okay. We're going to go ahead and increase by what we started with and spin. And let's see if we can get a good hit here. Okay, there's a 35 black. That's a good one, $120 win. Hit the number we bet on as well. We're up 696. And let's put those bets back out there again. Okay, let's add the 10s in now. And there's our $56 starting bet, and let's spin. I want to try to keep the bets as small as possible with this one. And that's a 9 red. And again, if you hit red, there's a good chance it's third column. We're up 676, so we don't increase if we hit it in the third column. And here we go. There's another 15 black. $60 win. How about that? We're up 736. And we're still at base level, which is awesome. So here we go. Okay, that's a 21 red. Okay, that's a $20 loss, but we do not increase. We're still up $716. And this is a $2,000 bankroll system. And let's see what we get here. That's a 3 red. Again, we do not increase, even though we lost 20 there, and we're up 696. All right, here we go. That's a good one, 35 black. $24 win, up $720. All right, black numbers are definitely good with this one, but red numbers won't hurt you real bad if they're in the third column, and that's a 31 black. $24 win. We're up $744. All right, let's keep it rolling, and let's see how this one finishes up here. That's a 6 black. $60 win, and we're right at the 15-minute mark. So we made $804 profit with this new system by Todd Hoover. Thank you, Todd, for sending this one in, and thank you everyone that's been sending the systems in lately. That is fantastic, and if you're enjoying the search for the best roulette system possible each and every day, that is fantastic. And please like, share, and subscribe. And I hope you're really enjoying the channel. This is the Roulette Master, and have a great day, everybody.